We are back on MorningLine. Thanks for joining us on this edition. We're talking about, juvenile crime, juvenile, justice, and the programs out there to help youngsters at risk. And there's some great ones in town. You see on the screen there the number if you want to join. Resources for risk youth, and of course, reaching excellence as leaders. Real is on with us this morning. These guys do a great job with it. We're kind of playing musical chairs with some of the members of the organization. Paulian Spencer's with us as well. You're 15 years old. You've been in Real for how long, Paulian?
It's been about 2 years.
About 2 years?
Yes, sir.
And were you referred to the program like we heard? How did you end up getting in there?
Well, honestly, my mom felt like it would be better for me to be out the house and just find something to do.
So she
as far
reached
as
out.
Leadership.
So she reached out. This is one of those. So you were telling me, Tay, it's not necessarily all referrals from juvenile court. It can be parents. It can be schools. And his mother thought this would be good for you. Why, were you getting in trouble?
No.
Good. Okay, but she wants to keep you on the straight and narrow. And what's it been like for you being part of the program?
Being part of the program, they just taught me more of like how to speak, because I'm more of a quiet person. And they just taught me as far as communication, what I can do as far as being an example to my brothers or just anybody.
Sure. And you're so 15. What year? Where do you go to school? Are you
Nashville School of Arts. Okay.
And is that what you're into, the arts, or what would you like to do with yourself as you get older?
I may, well, not may, but I will go to college.
Okay, that's your plan.
And I have to find something to do as far as music.
Okay, all right. Well, most kids at 15 don't know exactly what it is yet, but at least you have an idea, and you are very well spoken. It's good to have you on. Thanks for coming on. So, Tay, you want to give a little more background? Again, we were talking during the break. We touched on it. First of all, Real, it's nonprofit?
Correct. It's a nonprofit. We're held 17th of Charlotte, which is Oasis Center. Most people know about. Yep.
Is that where you work out of the same building there?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We're underneath the Oasis umbrella as well.
Gotcha.
So,
I know where that is.
We also have different, components of the Real program. Anything that can kind of assist the young people and be supportive and be another tool that they can utilize, again, as a resource. One of the components that we have with the Real program is we partner with Vanderbilt Law Clinic through a partnership with a lady named Ms. Karen Sovell. With this partnership, what it does is that at any given point, a young person that comes through the program, they will get legal assistance if at any time they're suspended, any type of expulsion, IEP, 504, any type of manifestation meetings. They'll be there to support the young person, because we know the importance is of having that type of support. Yeah. Sometimes they don't understand the information that's been conveyed to them from the schools. A lot of times, truthfully, they don't know the policies of the school or the code and conduct.
You mean the students?
Exactly.
And their parents may not either.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure and enforce that they are aware of what their rights are.
So you have some lawyers, these lawyers through the law school doing pro bono work, which will help get them, they'll represent them if they need it?
Yep.
Okay.
Help making sure that they understand the process, understand what their rights are, understand the appeal process if it comes down to it, but also just making sure they're informed of what their rights is as a student being in Davidson County schools.
So is it fair to say, Joe, when these youngsters get into Real, okay, and the fact that they're even there is a great first step for sure, but some of them are still going to have some problems maybe as they're in the program. It's not necessarily they get in there right off the bat and they're on the straight and narrow. You have to work with them, and they could end up maybe having some problems at school.
Yeah, definitely. We have to work with them. I mean, like I said, it's a 9-week program, so it's not going to change totally, because you're changing habits. Things you have to work slowly but surely to kind of change ideology, the way people think, perception, and through that time period. That's why we have an extension. We want to do more after that 9 weeks. So come be a part of this leadership program. Let's expound on what you've learned so far and move forward and push you forward and support you, so you can be propelled, into a positive space. So.
Okay. And then you said they kind of have to agree to go, and obviously his mom. Well, I mean, what if a judge refers them and they show up, they don't really want to be there? How do you deal with that?
I mean, if you think about it, Nick, what can you really enforce to anybody to do, right? What can you make anybody do?
Well, I guess you have the choice. You go to Real, or you could go to detention.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that simplistic, to some degree. I mean, that's an option as based off of what their charge is. So let's say they come to the Real program. A lot of times they go to programs and they don't feel like they're connected to the people who run the program, or they don't feel like they relate to them, or they have nothing in common. They don't feel that connection. So before we start talking to these young people about any type of curriculum, any type of activities, or any type of service project, or any of our objections with them, right? Objectives with them, we want to make sure that we first build a rapport with them. Then we got a relationship with
Get the
them.
trust there.
Exactly. So I can't tell you what to do or how to correct a young person or pull his pants up or do anything along that line until at least he trusts me first and know I'm here to support him more than anything. You know, a lot of times you get a situation where young people might be sagging their pants, and it's not because they choosing to sag. Their pants might be too small because they might come from a home where they can't afford and they have to share clothes with their little brothers, or their clothes might be too big because they wear their big brother clothes. So first I want to connect with them, get him to know me, trust me, understand that I can relate to him, and we come from the same neighborhoods, communities, and so on. And then from that, once you got that trust, they'll start following your lead, definitely when you got into something that's more productive, no question.
Pauline, when you got into the program with him, can you tell me, once I guess you developed that trust with these guys, what changed for you the most, at least initially? Your mom obviously thought, hey, this would be a great example for you to see, but what changed for you? What do you notice about change over the last 2 years?
As far as my change, I feel like they just got me to talk more. That's just the best thing that could be for me, because
you're shy.
Yeah.
You're shy, but I mean that doesn't. Yeah, just to open up more. What do you mean talk more? See, I talk a lot, but a lot of times I just blather. You know me.
Yeah.
But when you talk, you have something to say.
Exactly. Like I have a lot of opinions based on a lot of stuff, and I just usually keep it to myself because most people that's in my age group, they not as interested as I am, and I just want to see what other people think of it as far as my opinion.
So you've learned to communicate. Well, I just like the fact that these days everyone is in their damn phone.
And that's some type of issue. And then, you know, one thing that, you know, besides all the other great things that we're doing and we're so engaged and active with these young people, is when you get a young person up here and he's telling you that I had a problem with, you know, communicating or telling a person what I'm going through, you never know how to support somebody and wreck with them unless they're able to communicate what's wrong. So for him to go from saying he's being shy and don't want to speak to jumping on News Channel 5 Live.
Well, I was saying, you know what that is? That's confidence, my friend.
Yeah,
you have confidence, and confidence is so important in today. And you're very comfortable up here. It's really great. Hey, we have a call. We have Charles on line 1. Hi, Charles. Good morning.
Yes, I run a non-profit business that provides work for job references. Usually my grant is for the homeless and the mentally ill, but will your teams be interested in work in an experience with kind of job applications when they start applying for the workforce?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds to me like he has an organization that helps youth find jobs. I guess we didn't touch on that. We talked about education and making their way through school. What about employment?
So with employment with us, you know, at the Oasis Center, the Oasis Center is an amazing place.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it's an amazing place. Underneath that umbrella, you got workforce development, which basically supports young people with any type of adversity, barriers, or anything along that line will understand how to get a job. The resources, understand the application process.
How to do a resume, how to dress for an interview, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Training, skills, etc. With the college connection, do the same thing, introduce them to college and so on. So with the workforce, we do have a program that will help them, assist them.
So some of these kids will get their summer jobs or whatever, you get them work?
And we also partner with Opportunity Now.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, you want to talk about Opportunity Now a little bit?
Yeah, so basically, Opportunity Now helps young people with summer employment.
Okay.
So basically, they'll help young people with workforce development, workplace readiness before the summer months start. So the application, I think they have an online where you can apply online, and this opens up in January, if I'm not mistaken. And then once they apply, go through the they don't have to have a resume, but they will teach them how to make a resume. And by May, that's when they kind of do their training period. And then in June and July is when the young people work.
Right, that makes sense. So, yeah, during the summer months before they have to go back to
All the young people have to do is be committed to come. Like if you come, they'll help you. That's all this stuff is free, man.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I was going to say. So it's not costing you anything except your time and commitment, which is the ultimate thing on that. That's awesome. Listen, we're going to take another break, and then we're going to bring Derek up. We're going to play musical chairs. Thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure talking to you. We'll be back. We'll continue our conversation, take more phone calls as we talk about Real and all the good works they're doing in the community right after this. Stay with us.